All right, so welcome everyone. I'm George Hansen. I'm the club's president, and this is the UConn Financial Management Club's introductory meeting for the fall 2020 semester. So the FMC's mission is to foster an environment that encourages learning and development in the field of finance. We achieve this through our virtual stock market competition, guest speakers from the industry, whether it's alumni that work at financial firms or maybe university recruiters, and then events in the financial community with societies like the CFA Society of Stanford. So this semester, we're going to be doing virtual meetings through WebEx. We're going to be recording the meetings. It's currently being recorded. We're posting them on our YouTube channel for those that can't make it, and it's also going to be on our club website. Just some etiquette for the meetings. We prefer if members have their video on. It just helps with engagement. Definitely if we have a guest speaker or a university recruiter, it definitely helps to make an impression if you have your webcam on. And then also, if you're not speaking or making a comment, it also helps if you have your video on mute or your audio on mute. So now we'll have Michael.
Hi, I'm the treasurer of the Financial Management Club, and we'd like to let you guys know that if you're enrolled in a business class in the School of Business, you have access to the Wall Street Journal, and I just think that's just a great resource for everybody to use to just kind of stay up to date and be connected to financial news. And I also read an article this morning talking about what happened in the markets today. You go to the next slide. So today, like a bunch of tech stocks dropped, putting on NASDAQ and the S&P. And I think this is a big event because the market has been going up a lot recently. And I think it's really important to notice because the market has been up a lot, and it's kind of odd that it recovered super fast from the crash during the COVID pandemic. And a lot of people are saying that of the market are way too overpriced and that it's way too far ahead of the current U.S. economy. So one question that I have from this is why the price is so high when the economic uncertainty is also very high. And one of the issues they had in the article was that a lot of retail investors were getting into the market and they have a lot of time on their hands. Everybody's staying at home. So everybody's able to invest now. So they're possibly one of the answers to the market being so high is that everybody just putting in a huge supply of money into it, disregarding other factors of the economy. Does anybody have any other opinions on why the market could be so high at a time like this? I mean, that was just my take on it. I assume that the prices could be this high because everybody's investing into the market, and there was also a record high of call options being bought. So that means people are betting that the prices can go even higher and higher. That would just kind of just cause like a compound effect of the prices rising up too, and that could cause like a house of cards effect where eventually it might all fall apart. But nobody can really tell the future. We have to see what happens from this point forward.
Yeah, one of the things that I read from CNBC on this was things like sports betting and other things weren't taking place during the start of the pandemic because NBA canceled all sporting events and other big national leagues canceled their events. So people that turned to sports betting couldn't turn to that anymore. So they started doing like Robinhood or, so many ease of access trading platforms, and along with like stimulus payments, like an extra unemployment benefit. A lot of people were at home with extra money, extra inflow, and nothing else to bet on than the stock market. So that, they explain that as one of the reasons for an increase in options trading.
Mm-hmm. I think people just have a lot more free time as well nowadays.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. But yeah, because I feel like the current situation with all the uncertainty, like a lot of small and medium businesses defaulting on loans and stuff like that, that the market fundamentally shouldn't be this high, but sometimes like as history shows, doesn't follow the fundamentals, just does its own thing. But I feel like it will catch up. The economy will catch up with like the market. I mean, the market will catch up with the economy and just kind of like level out eventually. Because I feel like the price is just way too high right now, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have to share today with my opinion on the current market and what happened this morning.
All right, hey everyone, my name is Rashana and I'm the secretary. And we wanted to talk a little bit about the Bloomberg Market Concept Certification. So for those of you who don't know, it is available to all UConn students, and it is free. And so it typically costs around $150 or more if you were to get it outside of UConn, but all UConn students can get the BMC certification for free, and we would definitely recommend it. It's a great resume builder, especially if you're applying to like investment banking internships or you want to work in a hedge fund or private equity. It's definitely a great thing to add on your resume. So I know if we were on campus, we do have the Bloomberg terminals. So I know some students would use those to complete the certification, but you can just do it from your computer. All you need is just to go onto the Bloomberg website and just enter in some of like your like login credentials, I believe, and like your university and stuff. So we definitely recommend getting the BMC certification.
Hello, my name is Parth Desai. I'm the vice president of this club. So this semester I'll be just taking on the Market Watch game. This is what we've mentioned before about how we virtual stock market competition. Everyone gets $100,000 in the beginning. And what I decided to manipulate with this Market Watch game this semester is to announce different trade sectors. So instead of trading into wherever you wanted every week, I just we go into each different sector for 2 weeks. So the first week, I'll just let everything go, go whatever you want, whatever you're interested in. Then next you can go into tech stocks for the third week. And then you'll have healthcare stocks, energy stocks. So, if for tech stocks, maybe Tesla, that's what's on on the street right now. And every club meeting, we'll discuss about what we've picked. I'll open up everyone's portfolio, see who's in the lead. And this time, we'll have prizes for top performers. We'll have Amazon gift cards for top 3 in 50, 30, and 20 denominations. And in the picture in the top left, you could see each sector we're going to be eventually investing in. And then after we're gone full circle, we'll just repeat the cycle. So recently there's a Wall Street Journal Career Summit, just giving some tips and tricks for work from home and looking for work in this area. So a good tip is that, especially for virtual interviewing, you should make sure 100%, since you can plan beforehand, to have proper camera, lighting, and Wi-Fi connection. For Wi-Fi, I'd recommend going on Ethernet just in case you don't get cut out. In case anything happens. Lighting, just whatever you have, and camera. If your laptop camera isn't sufficient, then I'd recommend getting an external one yourself. I have one on my computer right now. But aside from the technicals, some specific advice for jobs is not only limited to work from home, but it's just to highlight how important research is to an interview. So one thing, you want to start off strong and enthusiastic, meaning let's say you have an interview with IBM. You should mention something about the company. So what I did, I looked up the company's Twitter and I talked to them about their latest tweet, about their, I think if I remember, it was something with their involvement with Poland. So just knowing that off the top of your head will definitely impress recruiters. The second tip is just talk more about the company. So ask questions about like, hey, what would someone in my position, hypothetically, if I get hired, what will we be doing the first 2 or 3 weeks within the company? What's the training like? What would I expect from the company? Things like that. It's important to make sure that an interview is a two-way street. I'm sure you've heard that before. And to always ask questions to show your interest.
Right, so there's an upcoming virtual career fair. It's split up from September 21st to the 25th. Um, and you see the dates there with the corresponding industries and type of firms that you're looking for. So some things to prepare for that is it's done through Handshake. That's how you're going to register for the career fair. So make sure your Handshake's up to date. A recent photo, update what you've been doing over the summer, your major, GPA, interest, any certificates you have. Make sure everything's up to date and get ready for the career fair. Mhm.
All right, so we have a few upcoming recruiting events. The first one would be with Ernst & Young, and it's tomorrow, the 9th from 11 to 1 p.m. And essentially, it's just like a meet and greet drop-in session, so you can just drop in and speak to a recruiter, ask them any questions you might have. Ernst & Young is part of the Big Four, and it's really good, especially if you want to get into like tax or consulting. There's also an Ernst & Young and Women in Professional Services panel and networking event, and that's on the 21st from 7 to 8 p.m. So another great networking event to go and hear from women working at Ernst & Young and hear their take on um, what it's like to work there. And then we also have on Thursday, September 10th at 11:30, Willis Towers Watson, which is an insurance brokerage. They are having a webinar, so we get the chance to meet some people from the company and learn more about their career journey, as well as if they have any advice, any career advice or any like tips and tricks for applying. So those are just two upcoming events, or sorry, three upcoming events that we have. And for our next meeting, we'll be having a guest speaker. Judy Stewart will be coming in. She's from the Center for Career Development. And she'll be essentially just talking about how to prepare for the virtual career fair, because it will be a little bit different this year, especially with things being online. So she'll just give you guys some more tips and tricks on how to impress recruiters and certain things you might want to add to your resume to make it a little bit more appealing. So that's what the plan is for next week.
Right, so now we're just going to open up the floor for questions. But I think before that, I think Marlis, our faculty advisor, just has something to say about an upcoming event.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I have two announcements, and Rashana did a great job with the Bloomberg. I have just gotten emails that they are going to add a couple more certifications or classes that you can take with Bloomberg by the end of September. So just watch your email from the club, and I will include those, and those are free. Those also can be done remotely. You don't need to come to a Bloomberg terminal. You can do those online because Bloomberg has opened it up due to COVID for all of the students. The other thing that I point out, and if you look at the website, you'll see announcements almost every other week from the CFA Society in Stanford. They have webinars that are free to you, some of them very interesting, and you can go onto those webinars as a student at UConn with no cost. Interesting topics. The other thing that I want to announce coming soon will be the CFA Research Challenge. We have done this at the Stanford campus. This will be our 4th year. The Research Challenge takes in account of a corporation somewhere in Connecticut. The CFA Society of Hartford hosts these challenges, but the CFA Society in Stanford will sponsor us. This challenge is open to all undergrads and grads, and usually we can have anywhere from 4 to 6 people on the teams. More information, you will have to apply. We will have an interview for you, but it is an exciting challenge for you to get very involved in analyzing a company. The end result is if you as a team decide that you would invest in the company or you would not invest in the company. but as a team, you do a whole analysis of that corporation. So everybody is invited to participate. Like I said, we'll have 4 to 6 members on the team, and you'll be seeing information with the application on the website. If you have any questions, just focus them to the website once I put up the information. Thank you.
Thanks, Marlis. So now we could open up the floor for any questions. I do have a poll from the Center for Career Development. Judy Stewart just has a question for everyone. If you could just take a moment. Right, so it looks like everyone answered. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions regarding future events, the club? I think Nick asked one. Let's see. So the Bloomberg certificate is done online. We could get the link for you. If you just Google Bloomberg certificate, Bloomberg market concepts. So Alyssa just asked, how long is the Bloomberg certificate available to be completed? So it takes about 8 hours to finish, and you could work as you go. There's no set time to log in or any expiration date. Just log in as you go, and it takes usually about 8 hours to complete.
Hi, George. Will we need any assistance completing this? I got an email a couple of weeks ago, and it was like one of those Stanford cover letters, and it said we might need some help finishing the certificate.
Yeah, I know there is help offered through the School of Business. I believe it's the Business Learning Commons. They'll help you get through it. If you want, I could find it, or if any of my executives or officers know of who the person to contact for help with the Bloomberg Market Concept Certificate. Let me find that for you.
I think his name is Nick Mangine. Or Mangine. I'm not sure if I know he's the Bloomberg market specialist for the BCLC. I'm not sure if it holds true for everyone in the School of Business as well, but I'm sure that he should be able to help if you reach out.
Thank you.
And I do think as of now, the access to Bloomberg BMC is going to be open at least till the end of the year. And it might continue on. Like you said before, you had to be at a Bloomberg terminal due to Corona. They're opening this up so you can just go online and you're on your own computer. So we will keep you posted, but I do know till the end of the calendar year, it will be open to you. And then going forward, they will make another announcement.
And I think, Michael, last semester I know you offered, when you took the BMC certificate, I believe you said you had some notes that you could share with people.
Yeah, so I took it a little bit less than a year ago, and when I took it, I had notes on all the different sections, and I find it very helpful because I could always look back on it. But if any of the members want me to send it to them, I'll leave my email in the chat, and you guys can email me for the whole document. I'll just send it to you guys if you want. So I'll leave my email in the chat. If you guys want the notes that I took, I'll be more than happy to send it to you guys.
Thank you, Michael.
Let's type it in really quick. All right. And, I also wanted to mention that the certification is just a great way for you to refresh on like value companies and all the different types of all the different type of investing that you have available to you through the Bloomberg terminal. There you can learn about Forex, a whole bunch of different equity markets also. So just a great experience, and it's also a great refresher if you already took finance classes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a lot of aspects of finance and then economics, like what happens when the Fed changes the interest rate. It's going to teach you absolute and relative valuation for securities, large economic indicators that usually signal when there's going to be an economic downturn, uptrend, and then, like Michael said, a lot of currency information as well for Forex.
Yeah, just a great resource that I think is very useful to a lot of students. It's also great on your resume too. A lot of ups to it.
One thing I just wanted to add real quick, we'll probably be starting the virtual stock market competition meeting after we have a speech from Judy Stewart, just so everyone gets a little bit more fit in with the club and everything. So I look forward to that.
Any other questions or comments from anyone?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, Graham?
So I'm not in the business school yet, but I'm in ACES and I'm planning on being in it. So is it still not possible for me to get access to the Wall Street Journal?
I would still try. I think it's a fairly new service that they're doing. I know if you're registered for business class, you should be fine. But if you want, let me pull up the link again.
Okay, thank you.
I'll put it in the chat for everyone. All right, so any other questions? All right, well, thank you everyone for coming. I hope you enjoyed our first meeting. Remember to tune in next week, Tuesday, from 4 to 5 p.m. Through WebEx, where we're going to have Judy Stewart from the Career Center for Development. She's going to be talking about the upcoming virtual career fair, how to get prepared on Handshake, best practices for virtual impressions with the recruiters, and more. We hope to see you there.
Wait, I actually have one more question, a really quick one.
Mhm.
Are we starting the trading challenge next week or later than that?
Pardon?
Are you referring to the CFA Research Challenge?
I'm referring to the Market Watch game.
Oh,
We start that as a whole clicker in the future beyond that.
Say that one more time, Michael.
Are we starting the Market Watch game next week or beyond?
The week after. I don't want to take up Judy's time just to introduce it. We'll just do it after. Anyways, I think more people will be comfortable to just talk about what stocks they'll pick.
Yeah, perfect. All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
All right, nice meeting you guys.
See you next week.